This system benefits from that emptiness, because a disconnected man is easy to control. A woman who doesn't trust love is easy to sell too. So they keep us divided, so we can't build families. They keep us broken, so we keep buying fixes, like therapies, retreats, courses, everything except true. Hey guys, my name is Zai and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about something important, something that affects every single one of us. Men, women, love and relationships. Before we start, I want to make one thing clear. I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, I'm someone like you. So everything I share with you today comes from real experiences, from people I've met, relationships I've seen break apart, and also my own journey when I was broken, when I didn't even know what love really was, and trying to understand why love in our generation feels so lost. So for years it's been a war, men versus women, masculine versus feminine. But if you look close enough, no one is really winning. We are just bleeding differently. We call it improvement, but it often looks like revenge. We call it confidence, but it often feels like defense. And while we point fingers, we forgot something simple. We need each other. Men want peace, women want safety. But we've both been taught to fear each other. Men fear being disrespected. Women fear being disappointed. So now everyone is guarded. Everyone is performing. No one is being real. We have become so addicted to winning arguments that we forgot how to build understanding. We want to be right instead of being connected. But love isn't about scoring points, it's about building bridges. When a man feels disrespected, he shuts down. When a woman feels unheard, she shuts off. And then we both stare at the silence, pretending we don't care. But deep down, we're both screaming, "See me, understand me, stay with me." That's what's missing today. The patience to listen before reacting. The humility to say, maybe I'm a part of the problem too. I'm sorry. Because relationships aren't destroyed by one big mistake. They die from 1,000 small acts of pride. So man, you don't need to be perfect, but you need to be present. A woman doesn't need you to fix everything. She just needs to feel that you are there, listening, grounded, steady, to disappearing when things get uncomfortable. And women, he doesn't need you to be flawless. He needs peace, not pressure. He needs to know that he can fail without losing your respect, that he can express fear without being judged, that he can be human, not just the strong one. Love is not found in the perfect partner. It's built through two imperfect people choosing to stay, choosing to communicate even when it's awkward, choosing to forgive even when it hurts, choosing to grow even when it's easier to walk away. Everyone says, if it's right, it should be easy. But easy love is fantasy. Real love takes effort. Real love is work. You see, we've been taught to chase feelings, but feelings are waves. They rise, they fall, they change. Commitment is the shore that keeps those waves from drowning you. Because when the excitement fades, and it will fade, what's left is the discipline to keep showing up. You don't fall out of love. You fall out of focus. When you stop appreciating, stop communicating, stop learning your partner, that's when it dies. Not because love disappeared, but because you stopped watering it. And that's where maturity begins. Realizing that love isn't supposed to save you. It's supposed to shape you. To show you the parts of yourself that still needs healing. Your partner isn't your therapist. They are your mirror. They reflect back everything you need to fix within yourself. That's it. That's why many people run away, not because they don't love their partner, but because they can't face themselves. They confuse healing with leaving. They think peace is found in the next person. But peace is built with the one willing to stay and grow with you. So if you truly want to heal the war between men and women, you have to start with accountability. Men must ask, how have I failed to protect the sacred? Women must ask, how have I failed to honor it? Because love dies where blame lives, and it grows where accountability begins. Healing means unlearning everything the system taught you. It means realizing that love isn't about power, it's about partnership. It's not about who leads more, it's about moving in the same direction. A healed relationship isn't perfect. It's two people who know how to repair. They know how to pause before reacting. They know how to say, I was wrong. They know how to forgive, not because they forgot the pain, but because they choose peace over ego. And that's the secret. Love doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. Two people willing to do the work. Two people who see love not as a feeling, but as a responsibility, a commitment to grow together, even when it's not easy, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts. Because that's what love truly is. Two souls building something no one else can. Not a castle made of fantasy, but a home built on truth. And now let's talk about the system or the society, the one that rewired how we think, how we feel and how we love. The one that made men forget how to be men and made women believe they have to become men just to survive. So this system benefits from that emptiness, because a disconnected man is easy to control. A woman who doesn't trust love is easy to sell too. So they keep us divided, so we can't build families. They keep us broken, so we keep buying fixes, like therapies, retreats, courses, everything except true. The society throw words at you now like toxic, red flag, gaslighting, narcissist, and I call these words buzzwords, because we use it like weapons. If something doesn't go our way, we just throw these words around, move from one person to the next like it's normal. No shame, no reflection, no regret, and then at the end we sit there asking, why me? Why do I always end up hurt? But how could you not? If you never stop, if you never pause to see your own patterns, your behavior, your trauma, if you jump from one relationship to another without respect for yourself, because your circle, your feed tells you are doing everything right, but deep down you know something's off. See, this didn't happen overnight. It was slow, subtle, like poison dripping into your mind, one scroll at a time. The media told you what to desire. The music told you how to feel. The movies told you what love should look like. And social media told you what perfect life should mean. And guess what? You believed all of it. We all did. Men started chasing money like it's oxygen. Men keep chasing women out of lust, not purpose. Because that's what the system reverts. Not peace, not family, not faith, but profit. They told you, work harder, get richer, buy more, sleep less. And when you finally make it, you realize you built everything except yourself. And women, they sold you a different lie. They said, be free, be independent. You don't need anyone. And you believed it, not realizing that independence without connection isn't strength, it's isolation. They told you that family holds you back, that marriage is outdated, that submission is weakness, that motherhood is a burden. But here's the truth. They didn't want strong women, they want distracted women, too busy fighting men to realize who's actually pulling the strings. See, if you divide man and woman, you destroy families. And if you destroy families, you control the next generation. Because a broken home raises broken minds, and broken minds are easy to manipulate. That's why everywhere you look, you see confusion. Women act like men act like boys. Everyone is in pain, but too proud to say it. Men crave respect, but don't act respectable. Women crave protection, but reject anything that sounds like leadership. Because this system made you associate masculinity with control and femininity with weakness, and now both are ashamed of who they are. But listen carefully. A man who can't lead himself should never lead a woman, and a woman who doesn't trust herself can't trust a man. It starts within. That's why the system keeps you distracted, so you never look inside. It's not an accident that men drown in corn and women drown in validation. That's not freedom, that's dependency. They've replaced real intimacy with dopamine. They've replaced connection with attention, and you are paying the price for it every single day. You see it everywhere. Men numb themselves with work, games, or meaningless women. Women numb themselves with attention, likes, and fake improvement. Both are addicted, because both are empty. And when two empty people meet, you don't get love. You get chaos. You get trauma bonding. You get two people trying to use each other to escape themselves. You know, the system doesn't want you healed. A healed man can't be controlled. A healed woman can't be sold too. That's why they push over sexualization. That's why everything online screams, show more, feel less, want everything, commit to nothing. They tell you to follow your heart, but your heart's being programmed. They tell you to be yourself, but you don't even know who you are without your phone. Let's be honest, you have probably never seen real love in front of you. Most of us grew up watching our parents argue, our friends cheat, and our generations pretend. So how could you possibly know how to love when you have only ever seen survival? Men weren't taught to be emotionally intelligent. Women weren't taught to be emotionally patient. We were all raised to compete, not to connect. To prove a point instead of build a bond. And that's how the system won. It convinced both sides that the other is the problem. It made women roll their eyes at men and men give up on women. It made love feel dangerous when it was supposed to be our nature state. But the truth is, the system can't break what you choose to rebuild consciously. If men start leading with purpose again and women start healing with grace again, everything changes. Not overnight, but slowly, silently, powerfully. Because when a man stands firm in his values and a woman feels safe in her softness, they create balance. Not war, not competition, but peace. And peace, that's what love was always meant to be. And now I want to talk with you about modern love. I think this is a really important topic too, because this is the present how love now shows up around the world. So we live in a time where love has become content. It's no longer something you build, it's something you post. And I think outside the world there's something you also see a lot. For example, I've seen so many couples sitting at the table before they even start eating. The girl pulls out her phone, films the food, the location, takes a few smiling pictures, and then silence. They eat, no real conversation. Just two people scrolling, pretending everything is fine. You can see it in their faces, both unhappy, but too afraid to admit it. And you know, love become a highlight reel, not a reality. And we wonder why nothing feels real anymore. Because we are living in a digital illusion, where 100 likes feels more meaningful than one honest conversation. Where people swipe faster than they heal. Where connection means matching on an app, not understanding someone's soul. Men are chasing validation through bodies. Women are chasing validation through attention. And neither side feels fulfilled, because attention isn't affection, validation isn't love, and intimacy isn't the same as connection. Social media rewired your brain. It made you think love should look perfect. It made you compare your relationship to strangers online. It made you believe you can replace people as easily as deleting a message. But real relationships don't come with filters or undo buttons. They require presence. They require patience. Think about it. You can meet someone incredible today, but your brain won't even let you appreciate them, because it's too busy wondering what else is out there. That's what endless options do. They make you incapable of choosing. You know, it's like standing in front of a buffet with 100 desserts. You are not even hungry, but you keep tasting everything, never committing to one plate. And that's modern dating. Everyone's sampling. No one is savoring. And the truth is, we have confused freedom with addiction. We think having endless choices makes us powerful. But it's the exact opposite. It makes us paralyzed. Because when everything is temporary, nothing feels sacred anymore. Dating apps created a generation of people who are emotionally overstimulated and spiritually empty. People who can't sit in silence. Who can't build slow love. Who panic when things get real, because real requires vulnerability, and vulnerability doesn't get likes. Now, when something feels uncomfortable, we ghost. When something feels hard, we scroll. We'd rather block than communicate, rather replace than rebuild. And then we call it self-respect? No, that's fear disguised as strength. We are so used to instant gratification that we forgot real connection takes time. It's not a dopamine hit, it's a daily decision. You don't find love anymore, you build it. Through presence, through patience, through 1,000 boring, consistent acts of care. And here is the saddest part. The more connected we are online, the more disconnected we are in real life. We text more, but talk less. We post quotes about healing, but can't even say I'm sorry face to face. We use boundaries as an excuse to avoid accountability. We want deep love, but we live shallow lives. We forgot what dating used to mean. It used to be about discovery. Now it's about distraction. It used to be about learning who someone is. Now it's about testing if they are worth your time. Everyone's performing for attention instead of preparing for love. And man, let's be honest, you have been hypnotized by lust. Everywhere you look, you are bombarded by half-naked women, ads, music videos, Instagram feeds, and more. And now you can't even see women clearly anymore. You see their bodies, not their souls. You crave their image, not their energy. And women, you've been taught to sell your beauty like currency, to show more skin, post more, attract more, as if validation is value. But deep down you know it's never enough, because attention fades, respect lasts. Some women say, men only want one thing. You look around and it starts to feel true. But the truth is, most men do want your body. But those aren't men, they are boys. Because real men see beyond that. Some are just tired of living in a world that confuses desire with love. They crave depth, loyalty, and peace too. But they have learned to hide it, because this world calls that weakness. The system wins when love dies. Because divided people are easier to control. Broken men spend more, lonely women settle for less, and society profits from your emptiness. Every scroll, every like, every hookup, it's all feeding something that doesn't care about you. And this is the truth. Now we have talked about how broken love has become. Let's talk about how to rebuild it. Because love isn't dead. It's just buried under ego, distraction, and fear. Real connection doesn't happen by accident. It happens when two people decide to show up with honesty. No masks, no games, just true. The first step to rebuilding connection is this: take off the armor. Because you can't connect through protection. You can't build trust when you are already planning your escape. If you keep entering relationships half present and half prepared, you will always get half the love. So man, this is where it starts for you. Learn to communicate, not with dominance, but with clarity. When a woman feels heard, she softens. When she feels dismissed, she shuts down. It's not about agreeing on everything. It's about making her feel safe enough to express what she truly feels. And women, this is where it starts for you. Learn to listen without assuming. Every man isn't your past. Every disagreement isn't disrespect. When a man feels trusted, he opens. When he feels accused, he retreats. Connection isn't about perfection. It's about understanding energy. Masculine and feminine aren't in competition. They are complementary. When a man leads with direction and a woman responds with intuition, you get flow, not friction. But this generation doesn't flow, it fights. Because everyone wants to be heard, but no one wants to understand. Everyone wants to feel loved, but no one wants to learn how the other person receives love. You want to rebuild connection? Start by learning your partner's language. Some people feel loved through words, others through action, some through time. But if you don't pay attention, you will be giving your own language and wondering why they still feel unloved. And listen, connection doesn't mean you never argue. It means you argue with purpose. You fight to fix, not to destroy. You raise issues, not your voice. You attack the problem, not the person. But to do that, you need one thing most people don't have: emotional maturity. That's what's missing in modern love, because everyone wants the feeling of love, but not the responsibility that comes with it. Emotional maturity means saying, I was wrong. It means asking yourself, did I listen or did I just react? It means not letting your pride speak louder than your care, because in real relationship, ego kills faster than distance ever will. So man, if you want to lead, lead with peace. If your presence brings chaos, that's not leadership, that's control. And women, if you want to nurture, nurture with boundaries. Compassion without limits becomes self-destruction. And here's something people forget. You can't rebuild connection on a broken foundation. If your relationship is built on lies, games and manipulation, it will collapse. No matter how much you love each other, remember it. So rebuild with honesty, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it means losing someone, because the truth might hurt for a moment, but lies will destroy you slowly. Slow love is real love. You can't rush intimacy. You can't force understanding. It takes time to unlearn old habits, time to earn trust, time to prove you're consistent. That's what makes real love so rare. It takes effort in a world addicted to shortcuts. Love isn't about finding someone who's never triggers you. It's about finding someone worth healing your triggers with. Someone who makes you want to grow. Someone who reminds you that peace feels better than pride. We talk about wanting healthy relationships, but we forget that healthy things grow slowly. You water them, feed them, nurture them. You don't walk away when they take time to bloom. Love works the same way. And here's the truth. The person you build with will reflect the way you build within yourself. If you are chaotic, your relationship will be chaotic. If you are grounded, your love will be grounded. So before you ask for real love, ask yourself, am I ready to give what I'm asking for? Rebuilding connection isn't about rewriting the past. It's about rewriting your patterns. It's about taking accountability for your energy, your tone, your choices. Because love is not found, it's created. Created through attention, consistency and self-awareness. And trust me, when both people do that, when both choose growth over ego, truth over comfort, presence over distraction, something sacred happens. Love stops feeling like work and starts feeling like home. Before you can build real love, you have to meet the version of yourself you've been avoiding. The one that hides behind confidence, the one that acts like everything is fine, the one that smiles in public but cries in silence. Because here's the truth, you can't build a healthy relationship with someone while you are still at war with yourself. You can't expect peace from another person when your mind is full of chaos. You can't love deeply if you don't even know what love feels like inside of you. So healing isn't about fixing yourself to be perfect. It's about understanding why you react the way you do, why you get jealous, why you get distant, why you crave chaos instead of calm. Until you face those things, you'll keep repeating the same story, just with different characters. So man, you can't call yourself a leader if you are still controlled by your trauma, if your ego gets triggered every time a woman challenges you, if your pride is louder than your peace. You can't lead anyone until you learn to lead your emotions. And women, you can't call yourself healed if your softness only exists when you feel safe. Healing means staying soft even after you've been hurt. It means trusting again, not blindly, but wisely. Healing is about awareness, about asking yourself hard questions like, what patterns am I repeating? Why do I attract what hurts me? What part of me still thinks love has to be painful to be real? Some of you are addicted to pain. You confuse peace with boredom. You mistake chaos for passion. You call it chemistry, but it's really just your trauma being recognized. You can't heal by running. You heal by feeling, by sitting in the discomfort, by facing the parts of yourself you swore you'd never look at again. The shame, the guilt, the fear, the regret. That's where your healing is hiding. Another point is forgiveness. Forgiving others, yes, but also forgiving yourself. You did what you knew at the time. You loved with the awareness you had. Now you know better. So stop punishing yourself for the old version of you that was just trying to survive. And if you truly want to love again, you have to learn how to be alone. Not lonely, but alone. To sit with your thoughts without needing noise. To find peace without needing attention. To fill your own cup so that love becomes a sharing of abundance, not a trade of emptiness. Because when two unhealed people fall in love, they create a better fit. But when two healing people meet, they create a sanctuary. You see, healing isn't glamorous. It's not yoga mats and crystal and mantras. It's crying on the floor at 2 a.m. It's admitting you were wrong. It's apologizing without defending yourself. It's choosing to stay soft in a hard world. That's what strength actually looks like. Healing isn't something you finish. It's something you practice. It's how you breathe when life hits you, how you speak when you are angry, how you treat people who can't give you anything. That's the real reflection of growth. So let's talk about where we go from here, because the future of love depends on what we do next. You know, most people don't even take relationships seriously anymore. They jump from one to another, avoid commitment, avoid marriage, as if love were some kind of game. It's all about ego and temporary needs. And yeah, you are right, it's your life, your choice, but you know what the truth is? If you don't wake up and change, you will regret it one day. Maybe not now, but when you are 60 or 70, when your looks fade, when the tension slows down, and you realize you are alone. Because when you don't take love seriously, when you never learn what a real relationship means, you end up repeating the same cycle, getting into something half-hearted, then leaving when it gets hard. And one day you might find yourself raising a child alone, a child who grows up without a mother or a father, without balance, without guidance. How many times have we heard that story, or even lived it ourselves, because someone walked away without thinking twice? Or maybe you are the one who left, as a man leaving your wife for another, without a real reason, without understanding what that does to her, or to your own soul. But I promise you this, you will regret it too. Maybe not today, not tomorrow, but one day when karma catches up to you, or when you are old and about to leave this world, you will feel it, that emptiness, that realization of what you lost, when you choose your ego and your temporary desires over real love. So let's understand each other better, because love is a seed, but a seed without water dies, and watering it means doing the boring stuff, showing up, talking, forgiving, being kind even when you are tired. So this is the last wake-up call for you. Stop chasing the one, start becoming the one, start healing, start rebuilding, start being intentional, because the next generation is watching us, and if we don't change, they will inherit our dysfunction. We need fathers again, we need mothers again, we need homes that teach love, not survival, respect, not revenge, faith, not fear. Thank you for watching. I know it was a little bit too long, but I hope you were able to take something meaningful from this, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And sorry if I mispronounced a few words, because my English isn't perfect yet, but I'm learning. And yeah, let me know if you liked it or not. Thank you, and see you.